Hello there, and welcome back to Monteriggioni. So, as we left us in the last time, we are currently harvesting our spinach. As you can see, Dave is enjoying himself by going up and down on the headlands. That leaves us with a job to do, or a spare pair of hands free, so to speak. We do have the Massey Ferguson just by here, currently from selling the last amount of spinach with this gigantic trailer. So we're going to take this back to the field, and I think we're going to do a couple of quick contracts just to help us on the money situation and also give us something to do in the time frame. All the grapevines are in perfect order. We can't put any more down, we can't put any more down for now. We can't do that until March, I believe. The other thing which we could potentially look at is the olive groves. We don't have any productions to put them into, but there is a potential thing to do with the olives, so let's have a quick look at them. Also, never done anything with olives previously, so in terms of the actual field price, it's 43,000, and in terms of olives, normally you would have a very similar machine that we've got with the grapes as a grape harvester, but manual olive. So I swear we saw something earlier on in the series which allows us to harvest the olives. So let's have a quick search. Olive, yes, olive picker. So, could be a potential option. It's only 6,700 to be able to do it. Hydraulic oil barrel. For the correct operation of olive harvester. So that's an option. But what I want to try and do today, whilst we're waiting for the field to happen, we do have some baling contracts, which are quite close to our field. So we're going to start this one, and you might be sat there asking, do we actually have a baler? Well, no. So what we're going to do is go into square bales. We're going to pick up the what one should we pick up? So I was tempted just to go for the chrome. Yeah, we'll go for the chrome one. So we obviously need standard twine, and that's only £660 a rent. So we're going to go back to, we're going to drop off the trailer in this field here. We're going to go pick up the baler from the shop, and we're going to do some baling. So first of all, let's just check. Yeah, 50%. It's got a nice long while to wait until we get that one done. So we drop off the trailer here, go pick up the baler and do some baling. Just because, well, I think this harvest is going to take some time. So it's detach and drive over to the shop, get our baler, and the two fields are really, really close. So it shouldn't take that long to get to them, and then potentially consider the olives as an option to extend our field. And we can use the tractor as well. So we're just going to go on to a time lapse now, and while we get these done. see, we've had the call that the harvester needs to be unloaded, but given how close we are to actually finishing this, helps if I put the thing down, the pickup down, given how close we are to finishing off this field, I'm just going to end up doing that, and then go back and unloading the spinach harvester. So just gone to the final 4%, so hopefully by the end of this pass we would have finished it. Then we can drive back to the field, get attached to the grain trailer, unload the spinach harvester and get onto our next field as well. So you're trying to balance multiple things. It's just 2%, so unfortunately we are going to have to go onto this pass, which should have been collected if I was half competent. So there we go, the farmer can keep his straw, and we're going to go back to the field and unload or relieve the worker from his load. That sounded a lot worse than that sounded a lot worse out loud than it did in my head. So yes, just go in, as you can see over here with the worker. He's on the correct side, which is great. Also thinking about the olives. Yes, I want to try something new, which I haven't done previously, but also I'm just conscious we do have our goal of trying to make the best wine in Tuscany. So we do probably need to think about what next step do we have to do to being able to do that, and rather than spending money on the olives and the equipment for that, which doesn't follow any of the processing, I think we might stay away from that at the moment. But let's get this unloaded, and then the harvester can carry on their merry way. Still quite a decent amount of the field to do. We have done one of our contracts. Didn't take that long. I think, I can't remember if that was the larger one of the two, so that was 2,800, which we can collect. Let's reverse this back, just so it's not in the way, and the next stage can be completed. So, touch, good. Get back onto the baler, and our next field is just a short travel away. Yeah, it's absolutely tiny. So let's get back attached. Oh, not that attached, this attached. And get to our next job. Just get this done under hopefully a quick time lapse, and let's just add in a little few pennies to our coffers, just because I want to mainly extend what we need, what we have at the moment, and also then look at potentially the next production chain that we need to go for. So we want to stay on this. Oh, we don't. We want to go up that side. Sorry, farmer, just driving through your field. So quick time lapse, get this job done, and then we're ready to hopefully unload the harvester again. Two nice quick jobs in terms of the harvester. Oh, it's only 30% the way through, still going on the ups and downs. Let's have a quick collect Francesco's job. Happy days. There's a big 6,000, but that's rain bales and we don't have a rain baler. do have some fertilizing work up in the top corner of the map by the looks of things, and we don't have any spraying jobs, so right, let's get back into the Massey. Let's return the harvester. Not return the harvester, return the baler, which is here. Happy days. And let's have a look at what the next stage of the production is. We're also going to have to hire a sprayer and to get some liquid fertilizer in just to treat this field before the next harvest. And in terms of weeds, ideally I want to do it now while we have nothing else in the field. However, we have, I'm not sure if it will actually fully treat the weeds. And then we can't use this tractor once the crop has actually grown. So, yeah, it's something which we need to look at. So we have this diagram. So we have the grapes, the table grape. The grape seed goes into the grapes, into the oil plant. The grape must can go into solid fertilizer. That could potentially be an option. And then we have some grape leverette, or premium cooperative bottling plant. I don't think I've seen that as the list of productions. So where are you? Bottling plant. A sawmill. Oil mill, yes, obviously grapeseed oil goes into more grapes. There's the grain mill. There's okay, so it's not listed as one of those. So in terms of grapes, grape processing medium, that's what we've currently have at the moment. What comes out of the premium grape juice and sparkling grape juice? Does it say premium PPP? Pink grape juice there. So, premium grape juice obviously wants to go up here. Is there somewhere else on the map possibly? It's just water, oil mill, debris crusher, lime station. What's this? Liquid manure. So that's the animal dealer, of course. Fertilizer purchase station, seed purchase station, seed purchase station. So no. What's 9? That looks like a no, that is a BG8. So that's not what we want to do. 4 is another farm. So yeah, water well, water purchase station. Ristorante del Marco. Nope. What's this? That's the sawmill. I'm not doing wood. That's 2. Looks like it's another farm, and we're in a walled area. So that's a massive cow barn. So not 2. That's the restaurants in the central. That's farm 4. Let's have a. Is that farmland 5? No, that's us. That's 17. So that looks like a building which you can create. Is this therefore the premium bottling plant which you have to purchase to then get on the map possibly? I don't know. So how much is 117? 69,000. That's the farmer's market. So yeah, it's somewhere, which isn't obvious. So therefore, I'm thinking maybe is it 117? Possibly indeed. Let's have a look at this restaurant de Marco. That's lovely. Nice little restaurant. Right. A lot of yabbering on. So I think when this comes back round, we can look to try and empty it. and then we'll have another load to sell. So we're going to get back down to the field and pick up our trailer. So we've got another 54,000, so that's going to be our third load of spinach into the pasta factory. Lots and lots of spinach, and that is going to bring us close to 90,000. Well, it's going to bring us over 90,000 by the looks of things. A lot over 90,000, almost 100,000. There we go, 97,000, so another 22,000 plus 2,600 in the environmental score. So I hopefully think we've got at least another one more load to come from the harvester. Also just thinking about what we can do. I think once we finish the harvest, we can return the Massey and the trailer. We might keep the trailer actually, because it's not going to do any harm, and get a tractor which we can have with small wheels, slim wheels. So be back with you once we've got another load. Decided to relieve the worker and just completing the final pass. We haven't done any further loads into the trailer, so this is going to be our final total from this field. We are going to move forward. Well, we're going to return the Massey, yeah, we're going to return the Massey because we can't amend the modify the vehicle to have skinny tyres, just purely down to the fact that it's rented. So we're going to return it. We're going to keep the trailer, and then we're going to rent a tractor where we can have thin wheels on for next month, where we can then do the fertilising and also the herbicide. Obviously not at the same time. We're going to have to go around the field twice, but I think that's going to be the easier solution rather than trying to do the fertiliser now and the herbicide later on. So that is that done. Let's park this up over here. Let's get back in the Massey and get our last load of spinach sold. So we've got another 33,119. Obviously it's not going to be £22,000, so it's only 60% full, but certainly another decent load of spinach and money into the coffers. I've also made a few changes to the realistic livestock mod, just to show the genetics percentage. Oh, there's a wall or fence, just to give us an easier indication of the quality of the animals that we're purchasing. So when we do sell them for meat, we are trying to produce the best possible. So there is, and we're ticked over the £100,000 mark, which is good. And our final total is 112,317, which is, I think personally, a really good total, and gives us a solid platform to be able to go to the next part of our journey. I think to definitely get to stage 2 or 3, we are going to need to expand our grapes even further. But yeah, that's certainly a massive step in the right direction. So we are going to return the Massey. Not that one, not that one, this one. So returning the Massey. There we go. We're going to sleep until July, and then we can get started on that field. So the spinach has returned as predicted. We do have some dirty little weeds in the field, and nitrogen is of course bad. So let's have a look into the shop. One of the things I would like to try and do first and foremost is see if there are any tractors. There's a cotton bale there, that'll be nice, which we can potentially pick up, which will give us the option. So there is that small frame, but that's never going to pull what we need in terms of trailers. although we did pick possibly the biggest trailer which we could find. And then also, let's have a quick look into the used machinery sale and see what options are available in here. So that is a massive header, which we do not need yet. That's a massive trailer, which we do not need yet. Forestry harvester, windrow, auger wagon, and seed drill. So yeah, nothing has appeared. What is that? Oh, it's a forage harvester, forage header. Class Orbis. Looks frightening. What is this? That is a dairy by the looks of things. So, yes, we are going to rent a vehicle. So, the one I feel like we want to rent is... It's not... where's the... Yeah, that's the one we want to rent. So we don't want wide tyres, we want narrow tyres. So it's going to be 50,000 to rent, so 2,600. And then we also want to pick up a sprayer. And I'm going to go cheap and cheerful. So that's going to have, how much is that to rent? That's 4,000. I think it will be worthwhile, I hope. And then the extra thing. And then for pallet tanks, we want some liquid fertilizer, so 1 pallet of that, and some herbicide, 1 pallet of that. So that was a little bit of a spending spree. I'm hoping this will work absolutely perfectly in the field with the narrow tyres. It's not going to have the oomph that we need to be able to pull the trailer, but definitely we'll be able to cope with this job. So there we go, lift that up too. Both pallets, yes, they're both outside the shop because we're still making a mess. So which one is this? So that's some liquid fert. That's 2,000 litres of liquid fertiliser. So main test now is are we going to be able to do this without destroying the crop? I'm hoping yes. But we'll have to wait and see. And usually you would do your liquid fertiliser after your crop has germinated, just purely because then the system knows how much fertiliser to put on. And we are able to drive on the crop. Woo-hoo. So steering assist on. Let's get in a position whilst the machine unfolds. Fortunately enough, it's quite wide. There we go. So crop colour is changing, fantastic, and we are fertilising our spinach. So we're going to get this done on a time lapse, and hopefully it won't be too painful. Then we're going to come back in and do the herbicide.
Dust on the dash and the sun burning low. Cut off jeans and a radio show. Barefoot dancing on a tailgate bed. Got a little wild running through our head. We ain't looking for a straight line road. We like sparks when the gravel throws us. Country girls don't scare easy. Boots kicked off and we run that free. Laugh to laugh. us country girls. Cheap red lipstick and a crooked smile. Stay out late, push it just a while. Truck bed kisses under porch light glow. Yeah, we take our time, but we steal the show. Ain't no rule we ain't been before. Leave a little trouble at every door. Us country girls don't scare.
So that is the liquid fert done. We're going to drop this off in our yard and then come and get back and get the herbicide. So yeah, it's obviously a huge field. So let's go back. There we go. So liquid fert's there. Meet you back in the field once we've got the herbicide. So we're back at the field. As you can see, the herbicide is being sprayed on. It's probably going to take exactly the same length of time as it took to do the liquid fert. So yeah, with precision farming you can have the advanced weed seeking on, so you're only actually spraying the weeds rather than spraying the entire field. So in theory you use a lot less herbicide than you would if you were doing without precision farming. So it's a little bit of a cost saver. Interestingly, where I harvested, there's less weeds. Where we had Dave harvest, or the worker harvest, we've got more weeds. I'm assuming that's down to some form of ground deformation and actually destroying the weeds before they actually come up, if we're actually doing it. So yeah, that's just hopefully a little bit of an interesting observation. So we're going to get this done, and yeah, I'll probably put this on a very quick time lapse. This is the end of our infested weed field. So as you can see, we've only used 650 litres ish of our herbicide. What we might do is try and put some herbicide into our grape fields, but yeah, field is fully harvested and fully treated. It used a lot of fertilizer to get to this point, but yeah, it's all ready and raring to go for next time. We're going to return our JCB, just purely down to the fact that I don't think it's going to be able to pull the trailer which we require. What we need to figure out between this episode and the next episode is that building. Is that for the premium bottling? But that's a question for next time. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do remember to like and subscribe. Bye bye.